All right, so let's dig into theme number 2, all things log cabin. So why do I love log cabins so much? I really love the versatility that you can make one block a million different ways and it looks totally different. So for example, I'm going to show you, we did a little pull. I'm going to show you a few examples first. So this is just a quick Google search of log cabin settings. So what can I do with a log cabin block? This is just different settings you can put. There's straight setting, there's fields and furrows, sunshine and shadows, a barn raising, a chevron. That one doesn't have a name. This is one I found. I love this one that kind of radiates out. I think that's pretty cool. This one kind of has that, is it a carpenter star? Yeah, that 8-pointed star there in the middle, using a log cabin. This one is Courthouse steps variation of log cabin. If you guys have never heard of Luke Haynes, so if you are on Instagram, search his Instagram is entropies or lukehaynes.com. Super nice guy. We've become friends over the years. He is a handy quilter ambassador. He did the whole series. He did 50 quilts for a series. They're all log cabin, and you can see a lot of them on his website. He did all red, black. Let's see, red, black, and white. So black and white with red. He uses all found fabrics or secondhand. So he does a lot of secondhand repurposing of fabrics. Here's another one that he did. Here's yet another one. Here's another one. So isn't that crazy? Just the difference, just changing the size of the strip and the center block, what you can come up with. So this is one we're going to do. I'm going to do with you. I'm going to show you a few as well. Hold on. Let's switch. Let's see. We'll go back to that. So I made one. Oh, I'm going to show you the ones that I've made over the years to kind of as examples of why I kind of like them. And I think we got our overhead microphone working. Oh, we got an echo for sure. Hold on. Okay. Testing, testing. Can you hear me now? Oh, I can hear myself. Okay. If you are not hearing me, please comment. So log cabin quilts. I think you can hear me okay. But I can also hear myself. That's fine. So if you look at this block in particular, this is a quilt I made. And I made these blocks up for another quilt and then end up not working the way I wanted them to. So I just reused them. Oh, it's very faint, she says. Sorry. Jerry, is that better? Oh, can barely hear me. Well, okay, we'll go back to this, and we'll go back to this. Okay, how's that? Is that better? Alicia says, are you getting ready for winter? You're growing a beard. Yeah, winter is coming. Okay, this is better. So looking at this block here in the center, a log cabin traditionally, I looked it up. I just looked up log cabin quilts, log cabin blocks especially. The pattern is often attributed to just like the pioneer times or like the 1800s, but it actually dates back to like Egypt. So Egypt time. So it starts with the center square. Red is typically used for the center because red means the heart of the home. And then you just basically add a row around each side going as you go. So this one here, as you can see, I just did a red in the center, But then I kind of threw in a little different things, kind of just to make it, I don't know, fun. Threw in some bright colors. Again, this was kind of another project that was a rainbow. But then I just put all these blocks together and gave it to my sister for Christmas a couple years ago. So that's one example. Another is something like this one. So if you can see, this was part of an exchange I did. So I did a log cabin block exchange, and everyone made a huge block. I think it's about 20 inches. Let's see. Yeah, I think everybody made like about 20.5-inch block. And then you cut the block in 4 and then send one of each of them out, and then you get that many back. So this was a exchange I did. You can see there's like some Bonnie and Camille in there. This one is mine with lots of cotton and steel and Alice and glass and those designers. But it just turned out, I gave this one to my sister. My sister is born on the 3rd of July, so she likes the 4th of July stuff. And I thought about doing an exchange. Maybe we might do exchange, something similar like this next year. But I just like how this, again, you can take one block and then just mix it up and look how different it turns out. This is one that I did for myself last year. I mean, during this, like the last year. So see if we can just see one. Now, these colors are not something that I would normally choose, but I was doing a quilt for my friend. My friend Mindy had a baby, and these are totally her colors. I brought the phone with me, so if the phone rings, excuse us. Heidi says, I like the red. I like the red, white, and blue, and so does Barb. I know. Barb would love that, wouldn't she? So this one I just made for myself. But I started with each one had this kind of mustardy in the center, and then I just built it around. And I used a lot of like fall colors. And I actually fell in love with this quilt. I love it. It's not something that the colors aren't something I would choose, but I had made so many log cabin quilt blocks and never finished them into a quilt for myself, actually. So this was one that I kept for myself. So how do I like to make a log cabin block? Susan says, I love the autumn colors. Well, you're going to love these, Susan. So we've got some Kim Deal fabrics. These are from my personal stash. I just grabbed these. So I got some Kim Deal. Let's see. And I'm going to show you. Oh, hold on. We're just going to back up a little bit. So we did a poll. This is one I made for my friend. I made with my friend Julie. Made it last year, and that's the quilt that we're going to kind of make. We don't have a pattern yet, so we'll have a pattern next week for you. This is an overview of the one that I made for myself, and you can see that. Yeah, I just did it super wonky. I didn't want a whole lot of wonkiness, but I did throw in a couple of blocks. That right in the center is 2 blocks I just cut in half and sewed back together. And then this one is another one that I made with my friend Julie. We made for her friend for Christmas, I think, or birthday. And so this is a Courthouse steps variation. And then I had lots of extra fabric, so I made corner ones. And this is a quilt. I made this one up for my friend Julie for Christmas last year. So we did a poll on Instagram. Which one would you like? Do you prefer? We did a this or that poll. So 62% was the traditional, 38% random, scrappy. And then on this one, again, 62% shows the Courthouse steps, more traditional. 38% shows the corner variation. So Alicia says the image of yourself is so beautiful. Thank you so much. I really love it. I was just showing it, talking to Suzanne about it, and I'm like, I kind of want to make another one. And Valerie says mustard is in this year. So my friend Mindy, I worked with her somewhere else, and she like loves mustard, and it's honestly not my thing, but hey, she loves it. That's all that matters. So we have, well, let me just, this is kind of the overview. So orange, green, brown, orange, green, brown. It takes about 2.5 yards of each color, and I'm just going to show you how I put it together personally. So I start out with my 2.5-inch strip. Sorry, got something going on. Apologize. I start out with a 2.5-inch strip. I subcut the greens into 2.5-inch squares. And then I have my 2.5-inch strip. So perfect for jelly roll and doing it this style. Perfect for the Stripology ruler, which I'm going to show you how I do it in that. And I like randomness. I like scrappy. So if I was to do this, I mean, going forward, I would do probably one strip, cut a half a strip of every different color that I had. So it was kind of scrappy. Then I'm going to take my first strip, kind of like I showed you last week. I'm going to lay it down. Oh, I have my fabric over here. I have my fabric already on the machine, so you can see that okay. And I just like to set it down. This is where it'd be nice to have that leg lifter, but I don't have one on this machine. I just sew. And then I just keep sewing them down. So I did one square, I take another square. And you don't have to, you can butt them right next to each other if you want. I like to leave a tiny bit of space. And then I'll sew the next square down. I'm going to do 4. You guys, P.S. What did we ever do before a thread cutter on a machine? Does everybody have a thread cutter on their machine? I just barely got a thread cutter on my machine recently, and it's like life-changing. What did we do before then? I don't understand. So then, you see it all right? Oh, I'm going to cut out this side. So then, I'm going to just take my ruler right on top of there. I'm going to trim. Same thing. Lay my ruler down. Line up with the edge of that fabric that I just sewed. Trim. So I'm just making my first. That's funny. Peggy says, I love my thread cutter. And then Donna says, featherweights don't have automatic cutters. I know, but like, how do people do it? I am teasing, of course. So I'm going to cut one more. I think Mike's coming in with some stuff. Propping the door open. It's fine.
Making a mess.
Making a mess. Now I know what Chris deals with like every day. Okay. So then I have my blocks ready to go, right? So I've done one round. And I did bring another color of orange, but I'm just going to show you how I would do it on this orange right here. So I'm going to do, I have my green, I have one orange, then I'm going to add another orange. So I just put my strip back in. And I always try to do it the same way every time so that I don't get messed up. So I'm going to put in the row that I, like the block that I just sewed. I'm going to put that one in first. Whoa. Oh, I got to remember to sing and sew. I'm singing and sewing and sewing and singing. That was for Chris. We're sewing as we sing and we sing as we... Oh, people ask me what I like to sing too. So I like to sing... I'm getting distracted, sorry. I like to sing hymns that are change the words or meaning. So for sewing, there's a hymn that's called We Are Sewing. We are sewing, daily sewing. So that's what you sing when you're piecing. And then there's a hymn called Let Us All Press On. And that's when you're pressing, you sing that one. Let us all press on in the making of our quilts. Yeah, you guys, you're getting a good taste of just how goofy I am. And then I did not press these. I like to press them, but in the interest of time and demonstration, I'm not pressing them right now. But just finger pressing them open is enough, and then pressing them all the way at the end. Mr. Thread Cutter. I will have to send you the Christmas sewing carols. Oh, yes, please. Johnny at mygirlfriendsquiltshop.com. Alicia says show tunes. Yeah, I really like show tunes, definitely. Okay, so can you see that? Oh, I gotta go up a little bit. So now I have my 4. And again, if I was doing this like for a whole quilt, I like to make it super scrappy, right? So I would do one strip. I would do one set with one strip. Then I would cut them. So I'm going to show you cutting them again. We need a cutting song. Let us all press on in the work of the quilt. Okay, so then I have, you guys, I was cutting too fast, so I didn't get that one well. I was too focused on the singing and the sewing and the cutting. Okay, so then I have 3, right? Now, I would square up often on this. Okay, you guys, I don't square up hardly at all, but I know you guys probably want to square up more often than I do. So I got my iron on. I'm going to press on. Let us all press on. I'm going to set that seam. Sorry, you're out of camera reach on that one. And I like to press the same way every time too. So I always try to press out. Does that make sense? This one I didn't. So I like to press out, if that makes sense. So if this is the center, if that's the center, just going to see if I can zoom a little bit. Ooh, was that too much? So if this is the center, when I press it, every time I'm going to press outward. So that way I can set if I want to press the whole thing, I can just start in the middle and press outward as I go. So I think that was too much. Sorry. Okay, that's better. Then we have this super cool, I had him get this ruler in specifically for me. So this is the Log Cabin Trim Tool 2. So the Log Cabin, Jean Ann Wright for Creative Grids, she came out with the 8-inch first, and then she came out with this one, which does 6 and 12-inch blocks. And what's really great about these rulers, I don't know if you guys know, see that QR code? Does everybody know how to use a QR code on their phone? So I have my phone. All you have to do is open up the camera, point your camera at that QR code, and then this one takes you to a YouTube video that has Valerie herself demonstrating this ruler. So those QR codes, I think they're on every, if they're not on every Creative Grids ruler, they're on a lot of them. So Creative Grids puts them on their ruler so that you can learn specifically how to use that ruler. So if you have a Creative Grids ruler and you're like, well, why did I buy that one? Yeah, see, this one has it too. So this is the Stripology, and you can see the QR code on there too. So yeah, you just point your camera at that, and you don't have to click anything. Like I have an iPhone. I don't know about other phones what you have to do, but you just shoot the QR code at that, and then it'll tell you exactly how to use it. Okay, back to this demo. So I have the 6-inch Log Cabin Trim Tool, but I'm just going to put it in the very corner, and there's a seam allowance there, and it's lined up on one side, so it's lined up here, but not so much here. I'm just going to flip it around and line it up with let's see right there. And then trim this. So she has you do 4 all the way around. Okay, we're going to address QR codes really quick. So Donna says it's on all the newer rulers. Awesome. Alicia says you have to download the QR app first. Okay, so that must be on non-iPhones. I know I didn't download anything for mine. So if you have an iPhone, I think you can just shoot it. Donna, on Android, go to the Play Store. I have a QR reader and it works great. Okay, thank you. A lot of restaurants are using them right now because of COVID and rulers and the menus and stuff. So I'm just going to square this one up. I'm lining up the lines on both sides. Again, this is a little bit smaller, but I would go anyway, just to keep it square as we go. So it's a little bit there. I'm just going to trim off there. Okay. I don't love to waste fabric. I think if I'm using my scraps, I want to use the most of it that I can. So I see people, there's a couple of scrappy quilter teachers that I've been following lately. And they use their scraps, but they're cutting their scrap in half. And I just don't see the point of that. So, okay. So we have a green, orange, orange. Now we're ready to do green, green. So I have my strip of green. I'm going to lay that down here. And again, I'm going to start with the one that I just sewed, right? So I'm going to put that on like that. You see that? Right sides together and ready to sew. We are sewing. You guys, y'all, you ladies. I'm going to do these other ones really quick. I'm putting my seams up, so that makes them go out. I'll just do those two really quick. Again, if I was doing this, well, when I do this for a full quilt, I cut all the strips, and then I go to town on sewing. Oh, Betty Joe. Betty Joe says, "Hey, sister, sew, sister, gotta get your thread, sister." Okay. I'm a little bit silly. Okay. I'm going to go trim these now. This one I sewed all the way to the edge. This one, just trimming off that corner there. And voila. Right? Then I'm going to do one more row of green. There's enough on that row. So I'm going to lay my fabric down. Again, starting with the one that I just sewed. Now here's what is kind of fun. Oh, I did this one up, but after you get past this, if you do them the same way every time, then you can just keep, this one goes up, this seam goes up, and this seam goes down. This one will go up, but I try to make it so that they're all going, like you have one up, one down, one up, one down, so that it's just easier for pressing, and then all lays flat. Okay, things about Johnny. I don't press seams open. That does not bring any joy to my life at all. I don't press seams open. I try to do things as easily as possible, and that's why I don't. So people talk about like a log cabin, like cutting all the pieces, cutting all the strips individually. I don't know, man. I just like strips. I like sewing the whole long strip and then trimming. That's just me personally. Faster through the machine, faster out of the machine. Well, that one didn't work. I needed my stiletto on that one, and I didn't have it, so. And I talked about open seam, so that one was open for me. Okay, I'm going to trim, and that one's pretty close. This one. Okay, so if you see that, center square, bing, 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 bing. And then you just keep going around. You can make it as small or big as you want. That one, that's not the prettiest, but you guys, that's when the trimming would have worked better. Okay, the Stripology ruler. I know this has been demonstrated before, and I just wanted to give you guys another deal. If somebody hasn't had a chance to buy that yet, they're just amazing. When I first saw them, I thought, come on, is it that hard to sew? Is it that hard to cut a strip? Come on, people. You guys, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's life-changing. Yeah, it's so great. So the one great thing about the Stripology, especially, I'm going to line up this one and So this has right here 12.5-inch square. So if you had a never mind, layer cakes are 10 inches. I wasn't thinking. So this has right down here, the star is, oh, you can't see it. But the star is 1.5-inch cuts. The little square is 2.5-inch cuts. So if I just cut, if I line up here and then I cut every where there's a square. Oh, gotta pull it down a little bit. Boom. Oh, sorry, glare on the ruler. I apologize. Let's see. What's it? Anyway, they have the star and the square. Star is 1.5, square is 2.5-inch cuts. So everywhere there's a star, if you just cut there, you get 1.5. It also has the inch, obviously, markers, but those are nice. Those little square and star are super nice. So I've cut, not a good example. That's fine. Cutting through 8 layers of fabric. I didn't quite make it through all those. I'm also sitting down because I didn't want to stand and have to look at my stomach. Nobody. So that's the Stripology ruler. Again, making your own jelly roll strips quickly and easily. Right? And then the log cabin trim tool. I'm going to press this really quick. So I can line it up like so. Now, I like to line up with the center. This one specifically is made, this little 6-inch one is made to start with a 2-inch center. And then this one is made for a 3-inch center, but it works just the same if you want. So it has example of log cabin, courthouse steps, a half log cabin. So I'm getting a little glare myself.
I was wondering if you wanted to just get rid of those. One lady did bring it in that was with her.
So I'm going to trim this edge and trim this edge. Again, I wouldn't cut like this. Okay, I'm just going to do it. And then flip it and trim it and flip it and trim it. Alrighty. So there you go. The start of a great log cabin. Okay, Lorna says, how do you do Wonky? Let's go to this one. So I don't like to waste fabric. I don't like to waste fabric. It's not my favorite thing. I don't save every tiny piece. I don't piece with tiny things, but I don't like to waste. Also, I like to pay homage to my grandma, who was a quilter. So my grandma's name is Gertie. And I like to call them make do blocks. So I like to put one in every quilt, at least every quilt, to just kind of give it